Hi, I'm Roberto. I'm an ex-JW. And if you're clicking onto this video, not only are you clicking onto it just to hear what I have to say, but you also might be on your way to becoming an ex-JW yourself, or you're already on one. And I really appreciate that you could take time out to hear what I have to say as it might pertain to you. Before I go any further into what I'm going to discuss and talk about today, I just want to take a real quick moment to really send a big thank you to all of my the community of the ex-JWs. There's a lot of people that, is there besides myself to support you and other ex-JWs. And I think that it's very important to acknowledge that. So I just want to give a shout out to the whole ex-JW community. Because at the end of the day, when you leave the Jehovah's Witness religion, you will find that you're looking for a place where you can get support, and there's no other better place than to go to other persons who've experienced what you experienced, and has come from where you came from. So shout out to them. And today, let's get right into what I'm going to talk about today in this video. In this video, I just really basically want to have, I know what I want to talk about and the points I want to hit on, but I basically just want to have this conversation with you. If you're an ex-JW and you're watching this video, I really, ask you, if you could just either share what I'm telling you to somebody who's in the place where we was at, or just tell them to, check out my video just to hear what I'm saying. Because to me, this is that important. And, this is basically me talking to my future ex-JW friends. Okay? And why I say that is because there's going to be some ex-JWs like myself that is going to be crossing over from the Jehovah's Witness religion. And, I strongly believe, in my opinion, speaking for myself as an ex-JW, just to be straight to the point, I believe that there's a lot of ex-JWs, all right, they're already sitting in kingdom halls. And I really believe that they fighting inside their emotions. They fighting mentally to keep themselves in that seat, to keep themselves in that seat, in those seats in the kingdom halls. Let me tell you something. If you want to serve Jehovah as one of Jehovah's Witnesses, by all means do so, because for the simple fact that's your free will. I'm not saying that not to do that. Who I'm talking to and what I'm saying is that if you know in your mind and your heart that you're sitting in a seat and your body's there, but your heart and your mind is not there, what are you waiting for? Like, really, what are you waiting for? Seriously, really, I really want to know, what are you waiting for? Do you think someone is gonna nudge you and say, "Hey, listen, I think you're in the wrong place"? Come on, man. Snap out of that. Wake up. Wake up. Snap out of it. Snap out of it. I'm here to tell you, snap out of it. Stop kidding yourself. Stop fooling yourself. Stop doing it. You're doing it to yourself. If you know in your heart, if you know in your mind, you're trying to wear that, you're trying to display that personality as one of Jehovah's Witnesses, but you know in your heart and mind that you fading already, or if you faded, let me ask you a question. Think about it. What happens when you're Jehovah's Witness and you fading and you fading and you start to fade already? What happens? Two things happen. One is you try to get help and encouragement to try to get back to where you was at one point in time, or you keep fading all the way back till you fade it out and you don't want to get that help and you faded already. But what happens in between time and in between that is that when you realize that you faded already as one of Jehovah's Witness and you still going to these meetings and you still trying to go side by side with the other Jehovah's Witnesses, you're starting to feel a little funny. And this is if you have a real conscience and you're in tune with your conscience and you're starting to feel like a little slight guilt. Because that guilt and that conscience tell you like, look, I don't feel quite right where I'm at anymore. That's when you know. And guess what happens after that? And I'm sure to all my ex-JWs, you know, just as well as me, you know. And even if you're a Jehovah's Witness now, you know. You know the terms. They spoke about it. It's nothing new. Then you start to live what? What Jehovah's Witnesses will refer to as a double life. That's right, I said a double life. Now think about it. Really, what is a double life? A double life is what is speaks for itself. It's what it says. A double life. You live in Jehovah's Witness by day. You live in like how you want to live by night. So at this point in time, if you know you faded already, if you know you're at the point where you live in a double life, then my message to you is stop fooling yourself. That's the first thing you got to do. Stop fooling yourself. Stop fooling you. Okay? Because at the end of the day, you got to live with yourself. You got to live with you. Okay? You know yourself better than anybody. You got to live for what's going on with you in here. All right? You know exactly what's going on. Okay? So my message to you is to stop fooling yourself. Because if you stop the hesitation, the better off it is for you, so you can start your journey unto what you already know, as you will be in, you know, into the journey, into that path, just like myself as an ex-JW. It's nothing wrong with that. Okay. The only thing that's wrong with being an ex-JW, the only thing that's wrong, only one thing. And that's not even wrong. The only thing that's wrong with being an ex-JW is that you're not a Jehovah's Witness no more. That's the only thing that's wrong. And that's not even wrong, that's different. Jehovah's Witnesses see that to be wrong. But if you agree that this is something that's wrong, then you have to reevaluate that and see, why would you agree with that thought? Why would you agree with that? You see? So that's something I want to get out to you. This is what I want. This is my message to you. My message to all my future ex-JW friends. You know what you need to do. Do it, get it done. Take that first step. Take that first step. All right? Because you're only fooling yourself. And the thing is this, if your mind is already out, okay, and your heart is out, especially, what are you waiting for? I just want you to take away from this. If you're ex-JW and you're watching this, it's your responsibility, and I ask of you, respectfully, please take this message to somebody else. If you have friends that's kind of like borderline, let them know what I'm saying. Tell them something. What are you waiting for? If you got Jehovah's Witness friends in your circle and they hanging with you, they still kicking with you, they still politic with you, they still communicate with you, let them know, like, yo, what are you waiting for? Simple. Just give them that question. What are you waiting for? That's it. Now, I want to share this with you. I remember, at one point in time when I was in the Jehovah's Witness religion, and I remember when I stumbled across a question that I came across. And I don't know, because I spoke to other persons, other Jehovah's Witnesses at that time, maybe spoke to my wife, and I came up with this very, very, very interesting question that I want to share with you. And that question is this. One day I asked myself, I said, what is a true Jehovah's Witness? Please, I invite you to see what answers you come up with. But I asked myself, I wonder what is a true Jehovah's Witness? And you know what? Interestingly, I don't know what you would think is that. You might not even care. But my point is this. This is why I'm bringing this up. I've come to realize that I would have never got that answer. I would have never got that answer because I was never going to be one myself. The real truth is I would have never had been a Jehovah's Witness. I wouldn't have never found the answer being one of Jehovah's Witnesses. Okay, I would have never have found the answer. What is a true Jehovah's Witness? And I'm going to tell you why I wouldn't have got the answer being part of that religion. Because it took me to be out. Oh my gosh. It took me to be out of the religion, out of that, part of that. And for me to be on this side to see things clearer and better and see like, oh, okay, now I got my answer. The answer is a true Jehovah's Witness is a Jehovah's Witness that will live and breathe as a Jehovah's Witness all the way to the end of their life and die known as one of Jehovah's Witnesses. And that's why I would have never had known. Because only God knows that I wasn't cut out. I was not going to be a Jehovah's Witness all my life. And that's very interesting because that says a lot about Jehovah's Witnesses now, that they're willing to live and die as one of, as one of Jehovah's Witnesses, as a JW, knowing everything that's going on. And it's like, that's very, very sad. Why would you want to die in a religion that causes so much harm, so much grief, so much pain? Because you want to show loyalty to a man-made religion? That's something that sucks. That's something that sucks. That's really, really bad. But anyway, switching off to a different direction of conversation. It's just something that a side note, it's just something I wanted to share and bring up because, to this day, I think I'm the only one who came up with that. You ever ask yourself that? I never come across anyone who thought like that. Maybe it's my way of thinking. We are all different and it's still beautiful at the end of the day. You're different, you're unique, you're beautiful, no matter what. So just a reminder to you. Okay, let's take time out to acknowledge that. Let me tell you something. As one of the XJWs that's around, like one of the things for me as an XJW, like for me, one of the things that I had to figure out is like, look, you know, you gotta be happy. You gotta smile. You gotta be happy. You need a sense of humor. Those are the things, excuse me, those are the things that's really, really helpful, you know. Those are the things that's gonna be helpful at a time. You're gonna see at a point in time that that is so very useful. If you think about it, if you came from this JW religion and you know you had this type of happiness or you was always happy, nothing should change now that you're XJW. Besides that, you're no longer one. You gotta be happy. You must be happy. You must smile. You gotta laugh at yourself, laugh at your old religion, laugh a little bit, just a little bit. Not at the real serious things, but laugh. You gotta find your laughter. You gotta find your smile. You gotta find your happiness. It will take time. It will take time. But I just want to just touch on a few things. I think that was very important. I think someone really needs to know. Don't be fooling yourself. If okay, there's plenty of room in the XJW community. You got to think to yourself. It's one thing when Jehovah's Witnesses leave that religion and then they're now known as an XJW because they don't believe they're not a part of that. It's one thing. But it's another thing when you see elders and Bethelites leaving and they just spilling everything that's going on. Or the secrets, or the shenanigans, or the foolishness. That should tell you something. That should raise the eyebrow for any Jehovah's Witness. It will raise my eyebrow. Really, seriously. Real talk. Real talk. And I think when you first leave the JW religion, in the beginning, in the real beginning, it's tough. I'm not gonna lie, it's tough because you have to readjust. You have to face the new reality after you're now leaving something that's been a part of your life for quite a while. And yeah, it is serious. It needs to be taken as serious. It's a serious move, a serious step. But you didn't pull the plug in the lifeline of life. Life didn't stop. Life outside of that did not stop. You still got to go to work. You still got to pay the bills. You still got to deal with people. You still have to deal with relationships that was already in place outside of people that was, in that religion because you was dealing with them before. Think about it. If you really logically think about it. But the first thing that you deal with is that you deal with that beginning stage as an XJW where it's fresh, it's new to you, and you got to really face the reality. What is known as the new reality. You know what I'm saying? And I think for me, what I would say to you, if right now, if you're checking this video out and you know someone is having some hard times or because it's not easy, or if you yourself you're new to the XJW community, I think for me, my advice to you would be everyone that you had in your circle that loved you and cared for you, whether you was a Jehovah's Witness or not, those are the very people that you should try to go back and reach out to. Rekindle relationships, reconnect with relationships that you have once shut off or closed. And whether it's like for me, I had family that was related, And I went and I just let them know, just, simply what was my new situation, what was going on. I spoke a little bit about what was going on, and that was the beginning of my journey as an ex-JW. And that's like the healing process, when you just speak to the people that you love and you care for, who love you. So, speak to, your relatives, reach out to them, let them know what's going on. Don't be ashamed, don't be embarrassed, because these are the people who love you. They love you no matter if you're a Jehovah's Witness or not. Go to those people, go to your friends, especially if you lost best friends or people you knew for years. Get back into that. Get back connected with your loved ones, your friends. Let them know where you at now. It shouldn't bother you, hurt you to go back, especially if they're real true friends, they're real true family. It will not take nothing from you just to reach back to them, let them know, because that for you could be like how it was for me. That was my support system, and it still is to this day. Because for me, and I don't know if I even got a chance to really get into that, say that, but I'll say it now. I don't know if I touched on that in my other videos, but I'm the only Jehovah's Witness in my whole entire family. So for me, it's a different situation. Granted, it's true, but as soon as I left and I got out, I picked up the phone. Look, this is the situation. Went out, and I connected back to my family, connected back to my friends. It's a great feeling. So in the beginning, this is what you need to do. You need to, get back into having the relationships that you feel comfortable with the people you feel comfortable with, the people that care about you. Because one of the biggest things that you gonna face and go through when you like new, like when you at ex-JW, like it's been a couple of days, a couple of weeks. These are the things that I'm sharing with you that I've been through, that worked for me, and hopefully it will work for you. But you're gonna feel like you're missing something because you had something for so long. And what it is the reality is that you had a foundation, a religious foundation. You had a foundation built on within this religion, and that was your support. That was your support system. So what it is now is, now that that's out and you remove that, you have to go and replace that. And the only way you replace that is if you either build from the ground, your own foundation from the very ground up, or you rebuild that by reestablishing old friendships and old relationships, and that and through that way, through so either way you go and how you choose to do it and the specifics and stuff of that nature, you still, at the end of the day, you still have to get another foundation of support. And that's my point. You have to replace what you remove. Now, it's very important to see it as, it's not something that you lost. It's not something that was taken from you. It's something that you chose to remove from your life, something that you removed yourself from. Okay. And, know this, you got people like me who's doing their best to say their story and say what works and don't work. And you got other people, just go online, search YouTube, search other media, places, Facebook, whatever. You got other persons that's dealing with dealing with how can I say, you got other people that's dealing with their past experiences as a JW. Some people deal with it with humor. Some people deal with it with being harsh. Some people deal with it being critical. Every ex-JW is different, and we all have different personalities. You see, so for me, I just choose to use my voice, choose to go at things this way, and just having this conversation and try to hit on things that I think is very valid, very important, not only just for me, but for you and everyone else. We all been affected by this religion. We all, know what it is. And let me tell you, it really is tough because it's tough for the simple fact that, well, how can I put it? Let me see how. So for me, I have my own personal terms, and hey, it is what it is. And this is my terms. It's funny because I'm the type of person I like to put everything in the category or most things if to try to understand it better. And for me, I know that even though like JWs, like that whole religion, like Jehovah's Witnesses, like everyone stems from a different path. Like for example, I would see myself as a worldly Jehovah's Witness or worldly witness. I would consider myself that. I'm a worldly witness. You know what I'm saying? That's now a ex-JW. The reason why I put myself as a worldly witness is because I'm coming from the world. I came from the world and I became a Jehovah Witness and that through that path. You see, you got other witnesses that from birth, their whole families or everybody around, and they was considered born in to that into that religion. And so those would be, of course, which is kind of, it's not no secret, it's known, they're born in. So for me, those was like born in witnesses. So like for me, when I was a part of that religion, like it was for my info, what was good for me was like I would put everyone was different because believe it or not, worldly witnesses kind of act different than born in witnesses. Because born in witnesses is kind of naive to some things out in the world. And not even all born in witnesses, because some born in witnesses they've been out in the world and stuff like that. Or they did some worldly things or whatever. I don't know. That's another video or whatever. I don't know. I'm not gonna touch that. But what I'm saying is, my point is that it's not easy if, for example, like for me, I come from the world. I came into this religion like when I was around 30ish, and I was gone before I hit 40. So like my whole 30s, I gave to this religion, but I didn't give my whole life to this religion. My life is mine. My life don't belong to religion, don't belong to man. It belongs to God, and that's it, period. So that's my perspective on things, you know what I'm saying? So, and why I'm bringing this up is because you might be like, well, it's because it's so hard. And I feel it hurts me too. Like when you're born in, it's tough for all that pressure, all that weight on your shoulders, all that weight on your mind that you're born into this, you're a born in witness, you're born into this religion, and you got to live up. Or you feel like you gotta live up, you gotta be a part of this. Even if you don't want to be a part of it, but you're surrounded by it. So as much as you want to turn away from what's going on with this religion, and if you don't agree with it, you kind of like, you gotta deal with it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta deal with everything's around you. So like when you born in, and there's stories like I've seen a few stories of my other ex-JW friends online and on their channels. And by the way, please take time out to not just see my videos, see other, stories and testimonies of ex-JWs and hear what they got to say and what they've been through. Everyone got different perspective. Everyone got different story. Everyone's spilling their truth. I love it. It's great. Excuse me. I got a little excited. It's great. But when you hear some stories, it really hurt, like it really touches your heart. I know it's touched me because these is born in witnesses, and they'll tell you that they've been in this for like since childhood, their teenage years, the young adulthood and so forth. And the thing why it hurts me is because coming from me and my perspective as a worldly witness, like you lost, you lose out a lot in life, and you've lost a lot of life because you had to rely so much on a religion that dictates your every move. Your life is managed, and you don't know what it is to feel freedom and feel free to be in the world and make your own mistakes and make your own decisions and make your own choices, have your own options. You don't have that. But the thing is, in reality, you really do, but you don't, you're being managed. You're being led. You're being fed what type of lifestyle to have. And so, all XJW's paths, all our paths on how we get to where we at now, where we XJWs, and we consider ourselves that, we know that we official, okay? We're coming from two different paths. Some is coming from my path as a worldly witness, comes from the world, Satan's world, Satan's system of things. And we go and we come into this religion. You got some that come from this path, and that's all they know, that's all they've seen. They started from small, from young, grew up, and then they come from that path. So everyone's coming from two different paths, from two meeting to two, coming from two different directions and meeting, coming to this religion. So my point is that it hits home, it hits the heart a little bit more. Like, for example, in my respectful opinion, it wasn't too hard for me to go back into something that I came from. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm only going back to what I know, what I've known from the beginning. Some born-in witnesses, not all, I say so respectfully, not all, they know from some friends who probably was dibbing and dabbling, one foot in the truth, as they would say, and one foot in the world, and they know what goes on and out, but they never went and they don't know what it is. Some born witnesses don't know what it is to be in the world and stand on their 2 feet. They don't know about that life. So it's like your support system is taken or not taken. You feel it's taken or whatever. You feel like you don't got nothing, which is almost pretty much like that's an illusion. And this is my point. Let me tell you something. Whether you born into that religion as one of Jehovah's Witnesses, or whether you come from the world, we all feel some type of impact from that religion. When you leave out that religion and secrets is exposed, whether it's the sexual abuse, okay, and anything else other, okay, we are all infected in some way as people. When you leave that religion, you feel in a certain type of way. And you got to identify with those feelings in the very beginning as an ex-JW. But my point to you is this: you can't deal with those feelings if you're sitting in a hall, you're sitting in a meeting, and you got those feelings just sitting there. And if you know what's going on, that's why, like I said early on in the video, in the beginning, please, if you know, okay, if you're already living a double life, if you know someone who's a JW, they're living a double life and they faded, tell them stop wasting their time, pull the plug, keep it moving, because the sooner the better that you're able, us as ex-JWs, we able to be there to support and help them and let them and help them deal and identify with some of the feelings they're going to be dealing with, because some is, someone is going to leave raging out, angry, mad, upset. Someone's gonna feel hurt. Some people's gonna feel sad. You know what I mean? you got to deal with these feelings. You understand what I'm saying? And in the beginning, when you leaving out, until in time when you have, you have started to find your way back into your, and got comfortable back into life, and you're readjusting to life, and you're learning how to breathe. You understand what I'm saying? Again, and live again, in a sense, out of that. So you know, life is not impossible. Life is never impossible. It's the choices that we take, the moves that we do. And I'm gonna tell you this: um, religion is something that if we made a bad choice with, or we misread it, it's something to put behind us. It's something to be of the past. To summarize everything up, it's like it's a past life, it's our past religion. But we here now. We keep it moving. We keep talking to the people. We keep letting them know what we know, what our experience is, what our take is on things. Because everybody has survived. We're surviving. I'm a survivor. You're a survivor. We making it. We supporting one another. We're encouraging one another by our story, by what we say, by our presence. It's not impossible. And I want to leave you with that. It's not impossible. So I'm gonna wrap things up here. I really didn't mean to go over, but I did. It happens. But the point is that my message in this video is out, and I'm pleading with all my future ex-JW friends. Pull the plug. Okay. Stop living that double life. If you faded already, make your move. Get out that hesitation mode. There's people here that's gonna support you, in the ex-JW community. And on that note, to my next video, and I'll be discussing about something else, something that we've experienced together. And I will be touching on something that we both, of course, can relate to. And until that time, until the next time, take care of yourself. Peace.